So what brings you in today?
So my parents have a really high expectation of me, and in school they expect the highest of highs, like 4.0 every single grading semester or every 9 weeks. And when I don't get that, they get really upset with me, and it makes me feel that they don't love me or want me anymore because I'm not meeting those expectations. And I just get really sad and depressed by it because I feel as though my parents hate me because I'm not exceeding their expectations.
Right. You said that they make you feel quite like sad and depressed, but when they get angry, is it an abusive situation?
No.
No? Okay. Just wanted to be sure that that wasn't the case.
Right.
So, I think that this is a really great opportunity to use a therapy called REBT.
Okay.
And the way that it works is that we take situations or events that happen and we perceive them in our own way, and sometimes when we think things to ourselves, it can make us feel a certain way.
Okay.
So, are you willing to give it a try?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. So, in the situation that you described, there's 5 steps to REBT. The first one is A, and it's the activating event.
Okay.
So, it would be like when you don't, so say you got an A minus rather than an A plus, or just an A, and your parents become frustrated and you guys have an argument,
Yeah.
or they say something to you. That would be A,
Okay.
so the activating event. C is the next step, which is odd, but it's the next step. And it actually stands for consequences, which isn't quite what it sounds like.
Right.
It's actually the way that you're feeling. So, you describe them to be depressed and sad. So, that's where we'd put C.
Okay.
And then we go back a step, and we go to B. And that would be when you would tell yourself that you're worthless, because you and your parents are arguing because you didn't meet this expectation that they have for you. Now, the only way that REBT works is if we can't change outside things, so we can't change that your parents have expectations for you.
Okay. Yeah.
And we can also, it changes the way B works, is we're going to change it and we're going to dispute it to where you can instead use a different technique. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, instead of saying you're worthless, what are some things that you can tell yourself?
That no matter what grades I get, that I'm still worthy of their love.
Right. And it's not the end of the world if you get a B.
Right.
Right?
Right. Yeah,
Right.
No one's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. Right. That's a wonderful idea to tell yourself. Instead of, so when your parents and you do have an argument and you got an A minus or you got a B, something you can tell yourself is, I'm not perfect, and that's okay.
Right.
I don't have to meet their expectations, and that's okay. And it's a process. It's something that we'll work through in pieces rather than it just being something that we can just lay out there and everything's gonna change.
Right.
Because, like I said, we can't change the outside things, but we can change the small thing that will change how you're feeling rather than feeling like you're worthless and you're depressed. So, that would be D.
Okay.
That it's not the end of the world. That we actually can work out this and it won't be this way forever. And then E is how you're feeling afterwards, and that is really how we know that REBT is working, because when you do tell yourself these things, you instead won't feel the depression and the heavy laden feelings due to you and your parents arguing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Wonderful. This week, I'd like you to go through your week and try to find, so it's getting towards the end of the semester, you're going to get, or the middle of the semester, you're going to get your grades back. And if you do happen to have one little slip, I want you to remember that, and I want you to write it down and then bring it back with you the next time that we meet. And then I'd like you to record how your conversations with your parents go. And then I'd like you to intentionally remember to use the D rather than B.
Okay.
So it's okay not to be perfect, rather than, we're fighting again. I'm not good enough. I'm not meeting their expectations. Use it's okay that we're fighting, and things are going to get better.
I like that a lot.
Wonderful. I can't wait to meet next week.
Yep, absolutely.
Good job. Oh my gosh.